I gotten a couple of questions from folks concerning, my comments in the meeting tonight, and I wanted to address those questions. Now, see, when I said that our behaviors are linked to our thoughts, to me, that sounds like an absolute truth. Because, for example, if you think that you're hungry and you get up, go to the kitchen, or, you know, go to a restaurant or something, and you purchase food, and you see where I'm going with this. You saw it or felt, and we can talk about thoughts and feelings and whatever. We can talk about those things separately, but they're usually conjoined anyway. You thought/felt hungry. And what did you do? You got up and, in one way or another, found some way to fill that need, i.e., you ate in one way or another. So, in just that example, as you can probably imagine what I'm leading to, you can see how it's undeniable that thoughts or feelings lead to actions. And sometimes thoughts and feelings lead to specific actions so often that they become no longer actions but behaviors. So if every morning you wake up at about 8 a.m., maybe earlier, maybe later, it doesn't really matter for this specific example. But if every morning the first thing you do is, use the restroom, wash your hands, wash your face, and brush your teeth, that is quite literally an example of thought that has become so routine that now the behavior comes without having any conscious thought involved. What I mean by that is that this is what you do so often that you don't even consciously think about or register what you're doing. You know that you are using the facilities, you know that you are brushing your teeth, washing your face, etc. But you don't actively think about reaching over, grabbing the toothpaste and the toothbrush and putting the toothpaste on the brush, putting the cap back on the toothbrush, hopefully, putting it back where you got it, putting a little bit of water onto your toothbrush with now the toothpaste onto it, and then now brushing your teeth as you're randomly fiddling with your hair or whatever else as you stare into the mirror. You are not actively thinking and deciding necessarily, not consciously, in the way that we would say you are consciously thinking of, I am really hungry and I am staring at 3 different pies, one apple, one cherry, one blueberry. I am going to pick the apple pie. You're not thinking about your actions in that way. The only thing you are doing is just literally the thing you do every morning. And you've done it so many times that you don't even actively think of it. And that's the way we sometimes react to people, is we're not actively thinking about exactly what it might be that somebody has said in that specific instance. But subconsciously, because we have been maybe approached or hurt in a similar way in our past, automatically our defenses start going up. You know, your walls start going up once you hear uh, a specific tone in someone's voice. You you know, our defenses go up. It's like, oh, well, what do you mean? Are you accusing me of something? Are you doing this? We're automatically on defense. And even though we don't make that decision to be defensive, automatically we still are. And so it's when we can identify these thoughts, even when they do come at us real quick, like, oh my gosh, this just now, just this very second happened, we're able to navigate these reactions, and we don't end up making decisions based off of thoughts that, you know, maybe in some aspect they have truth, but in another aspect, are they so relevant, so true, so potentially devastating to me that I need to act in a very defensive way? Is that the situation? And when you can get to the point that you are able to identify those thoughts, those feelings that you're having in a stressful predicament, I mean, you won't notice it at the time that you're doing it, but afterwards you'll think back about it and say, you know what, that was actually right. I thought about my feelings. I didn't just react. I thought about the situation. And I didn't react just based off my immediate gut feeling. I did take just a second or two to think about this. And that made the situation better. So, if there are any more questions, you can send them to the email or the GroupMe messenger. Thank you, and I hope you all take care.